If you look back at your life, there'll have been times when you felt good about what was going on, and other times when you were maybe less confident about what you were doing. The difficulty is how we measure these feelings. How do we know if we're okay? When we are physically ill, the right thing to do is to see a GP, but how do we know when we're not mentally well? This is a question that even mental health professionals find hard to evaluate, but I find it helpful to follow the rule of 3 when I'm working with clients. It works like this. If you're feeling depressed or anxious more than 3 times in a week, and this period goes on for more than 3 weeks in a month, it's time to consider seeking help. Of course, this is not a hard and fast rule. In the way that you wouldn't rush to your doctor for every slight ailment or minor injury, it's the same with mental health. So, just as I might look after a bad back or creaking ankle, I look after my mental health on the odd day when I'm feeling slightly anxious or depressed. You know when something's not right. But mental health is not binary. That is, we're neither completely well nor completely sick. All of us have a relationship with mental health somewhere between the two, and we'll have good days and bad days. It's quite common now to hear about mental health in sport being an issue, with high-profile sports people, Frank Bruno, Dame Kelly Holmes, Marcus Trescothick, Freddie Flintoff, and so on, speaking about their own experiences. These people have shown bravery to go public about their very personal problems, but the vast majority of those owning up only do so once their sports careers have come to an end. Keyboard warriors on social media will sometimes criticize sports people who have had their every need catered for. One radio presenter once said, "Anyone on 50 grand a week has no right to feel depressed." But along with the everyday problems that we all face, regardless of salary, high-profile sports people have to deal with a whole host of additional pressures, such as a sudden career-ending shortening injury, simple deselection, or a loss of form that sees their whole career put in jeopardy. This book will explore some of these issues and the ways I help my clients. Take the young footballer who came to me with career-damaging anger issues that were preventing him breaking into the first team. Every time he was given coaching, he would react negatively. Through techniques that I'll explain later, I helped him learn to control his fiery temper, listen to the coaches, and implement their suggestions on the pitch. He's now a first-team regular. To say there's a stigma about seeking mental health support in sport is an understatement. On the one hand, we want our players to have the freedom to speak about their personal problems so we can help them. But on the other hand, when players do this, they can be ridiculed and stigmatized by coaching staff and fellow players. The emphasis on coping and self-control is the misguided basis of what we understand to be mental toughness. Number one culprit, football. My belief is that having therapeutic mental health support should be so everyday and low-key that the stigma around it just melts away. It should be normal to simply have a chat with a practitioner at the training ground or in the cafeteria. Many of the players I work with probably don't even realize they're seeking out mental health support when they come to talk to me, but they are. They'd probably scoff at the idea that their distress or unhappiness is even close to being a mental health issue, given how quickly and easily things can be resolved. But it is. And the fact that everyone in any of the clubs I work in chats to me about all kinds of things means that anyone can. There's nothing special about it, and so the stigma goes away. Ultimately, though, psychotherapy is about change, and critically, it has to be an active choice to make the necessary changes. As the joke goes, question: how many psychotherapists does it need to change a light bulb? Answer: none. The light bulb has to want to change. I'm trained as a humanistic integrative therapist, which means I use many different techniques depending on the client's needs. Sometimes they just want to start playing or performing better. At other times, they want to examine a long-standing relationship with a parent or loved one. As you'll see in this book, I always let my clients set their own agenda for every session. It's their therapy time after all. But I might offer suggestions or teach them about psychology and psychotherapy. My objective is to enable clients to be open about things it's very difficult to speak about, and to understand why they're unhappy or anxious or underperforming. It's important that each client leaves their work with me knowing what's going on and why.